Kgotso, peace to the people of the world. Welcome again to one of the best information you can get out there in terms of hairdressing. And as we are about to launch our master classes and our academy, it's a beautiful thing that there's so much information that the audience and customers will learn about hair and how to take care about their hair better. And today, I'm chilling with my partner, my brother, Kgotso Mafora, who's one of the educators in our academies, and making sure that whatever we are bringing the A-list. Welcome, my brother.
I'm thankful to be here. So this is Lajawi. It's a hair salon. It's an academy. So this is a home for, I would say, beauty in general. At the moment, we're focusing on hair because that's our specialty. Me and Jawad are brothers. And we see eye to eye. So we are here. We've came together so that we could reason to the masses about what me and Jawad love, which is hair.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so much that we can speak about behind the scenes. We always do. And I quite liked how you explained the word hair, because from the outside, each and every hairstylist or people out there, most of the time, we never know what we deal with. And I always feel like if you know hair structure, all things hair, it's easier to approach it better, you know. And my next question to you is, what is hair? And then after that, I would like us to also focus on hair loss, which is one of the main challenge that our clients are suffering from, you know. But first, let's deal with what is hair from the root, and you know, and from there we can be able to elaborate, you know. And for me, it's spiritual, it's big, you know. For me, it's frequency, you know, it's energy that it captures. And for me, it's what makes me connect with the people that I connect with, you know, for whatever reasons. You know, you meet people for whatever reasons of enlightenment. You know, for me, I'm like, you are dealing with the kingdom, you know, this is the kingdom, you know. So even though I always feel like the eternal is what makes the outside even much more better and stronger. So yeah, please tell me from your explanation of what is hair, you know, King Miriri, because like I think if we know what is hair, we can be able to deal with it, you know, in the best way that we want to teach in our master classes, in our academy. We want to produce the best. So I think it is important for them to come and learn and also know what is hair, you know.
Yeah, you know, I often see how people treat hair, because no one goes anywhere without their hair looking a certain way to represent their image in most times. So much as hair on our side can be something that is overlooked, at some might look at it at a glance and be casual about it, but some can take it extremely serious, especially those who are conscious about it, right? Because we have spirituality that has to do with hair. We have guys like Rastas, some they believe that even if when their hair can touch something filthy, they will cut it off and start it again because it's sacred. Others, they say it's like it's an antenna. They can get to get the messages of the universe by their hair and stuff. And at times, even when you walk in cold rooms or maybe there's a shock, you'll have like small pieces of hair. We call them villas on the skin, goosebumps.
Yeah.
So hair is an important factor.
Yeah,
So
just to add into what you just said there, sorry to cut you, is that one of the other important things is that the hair on your body can surface any danger, like you can feel that there's something that is happening. But you can continue.
Yes, you really can. But however, we're not really, because we are people of, AI, technology, and fast life, so we don't really pay attention to such. But if maybe we didn't have what we have, we would be like maybe Asians in the mountains, stuff like that, meditating often, we would be aware of such. But now in this case, we use it for beauty, mostly for our image, right? And now, what is it that we are actually dealing with? So for now, let's deal with like a hair material, like, because hair is a texture, you see, like a textile. Like, what is hair? First of all, when it's outside, it's something that you can touch and feel, right? So what is that thing? So in a simple term, due to my experience, I've realized that the reason why we use chemicals, and these chemicals are very scientific and slightly harsh, like fire. And you've seen people who are into boiler making, the welders, you see they use fire to mend steel or to saw steel, something like that. So hair also, if you've seen like steel wool, for instance, hair is more or less like same material of a steel wool because it is known as fiber.
Yes.
However, it starts within. How does hair come about actually onto your skin? It is blood itself, right? So that blood, based on what we eat, there will be like broken molecules inside of you called, I would say, amino acids, right? Those
Proteins,
amino acids,
yes.
then they start to group themselves in a form of like an oil known as keratin, right? Then it travels through the skin layers of the body until outside, where now we have that hair shaft. And then that's where us hairdressers now step in. And then we are the caretakers of that, now using it as a form of art to beautify our people, gents cutting, coloring, women blow dries, sewing into weaves, and etc. So hair is formed by what we eat mainly. That's why, for instance, if someone is pregnant and then they will maybe take supplements like Prego Omegas, because those are very rich in nutrition, right? Or vitamins. Normally, ladies who are pregnant and they take vitamins, you will see their babies, when they are born, they will come with full coverage of hair. Because at times you have these ladies who would give birth and then their children have a space around their head here and then some have pieces and stuff. Normally, that's lack of nutrition. Because those who get sick in most times, right? Like cancer, like people, HIV, you'll see their hair starts to suffer. Their hair will fall because now the blood is being affected by a plague of some sort, or that cancer that we cannot really understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I hear you. And I think since we trying to understand what is hair, I also get to understand that there's different types of hair losses.
Yes.
And different phases that hair goes through. And I want us to, since you mentioned hair, it is a steel wool, which is more like
A material.
yes,
like a steel.
Yeah, it's like a steel.
Let's say it's a fine steel. That's why
It's
when you
a
are in
fine
jail,
yeah.
they won't want you to have hair, because if you are in jail and you have hair, you can rope it, and then you can create a weapon out of it. You can hang yourself with it, you can strangle someone with it, because it's a hardwired material but extremely fine. You see, so if we break it down like that, yes, it's actually a protein, but if you digest it, it don't be like indigestible. You see, it can even harm you if you try maybe to supplement, because it's actually also a form of protein, but it's a hard protein. So that's why I'm like, its texture is more or less like a very fine steel. Yes.
Yeah, since we are there, then we can move into our next phase, which is hair losses. And I think let's maybe break it down from the fact that we have mechanical, and we also have chemical, and what are those other hair losses, and what are the things that maybe after explaining them we can speak of what are the type of direction we can educate our learners, so that when they come out of our master classes, of our academy, which is well accredited, they'll get certificates. We're not fly by night. We make sure that we give them the best. This is our baby, and what we want to do is we want to empower, the hair industry with information that, because, hairdressing is looked upon as that last resort for most people. If all fails, you can do hair.
Yes.
And so we want, like they say, save the best for last. We want those who come with that information, approach it nicely. If you understand that this is silk material, how you deal with it, how you prep it, how you care for it. And this is what we'll be teaching in our academy, to empower this young ones or anybody, because I feel like we all need this information. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing hair, but I think, because I tell you that you can go to most salons today, no one would even explain what is hair.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So now, at least with this information, they can be able to explain to their clients, why must you do a treatment? Because clients sometimes, they don't understand, why must I do a treatment? One of the other things that I always tell my clients, I'm like, in life, anything that you pay attention to grows. In a sense that if you have thin hair and you don't like it, the fact that you are vibrating on a hate mindset, your hair suffer, you don't enjoy it. So what I'm saying is that, pay a little attention to your fine hair, treat it, cut it, apply our best Lajawi hair care range, to moisturize it. It's the action that happens in the mind that makes you be able to enjoy your hair, because what will be educating these people around us is the fact that this hair needs management, and we will empower the learners with management skills to go and become the best at what they do at the salons. But now, let's speak about mechanical damages that we mostly happen to see, and our clients happen to have challenge with it, and I think one of the main aim for this conversation is to spread the word, to inspire, to create awareness to our clients, customers, stylists, that they must know how to deal with this steel, this fine steel. How do you deal with it, to avoid loss?
When it comes to let's say hair loss, right? Before hair loss, we also have a breakage whereby it can be caused by chemicals, also caused by mechanical, like blow dryers, heating irons, tongs, right? And then also some of the products that they go onto hair, since hair differs in terms of strength, texture,
Cal types.
is curl types and all that. And what I've often realized is that, especially now coming to mechanical damage, is that if, for instance, I've got curly hair, I'm never satisfied with that. I would want it maybe straight. And now for me to transition that hair from curl to straight, there will be, for instance, there's what we call bonds inside of the hair. So that can be a topic for another day, right? But let's say things like bonds, they will be compromised, right? The reason why us as hairdressers, for instance, if someone had curly hair like afro, like if it's an ethnic textured person, then we apply a relaxer, making it into a straight. Automatically, I have caused the damage onto that hair. The reason why it is my responsibility that after I have performed that service, then I also now recommend a treatment for that hair whereby my client will come back for assessments, then she can get best shampoos, get strengthening conditioners and best aftercare, so that that hair it's not it gets back to its strength or its position. So now normally people, like when they do their hair at home, or hairdressers, or I would say stylists that are really not knowledgeable in terms of dressing hair, but they are stylists, they know how to actually make a style, because hair is more of an artistic type of a craft. So anybody can create art. So even with hair, you can create art. People, they can plait hair, people can style hair, people can cut hair, but without understanding exactly what they are dealing with. Hence, we have an academy so that we make sure that we close that gap and space to provide education, so that people now, when they deal with chemicals, they should know how to deal with those chemicals, since these chemicals are also made out of very aggressive ingredients. Because remember, hair is like a metal, so it needs heat. So we have maybe ingredients like persulfate, for instance, because persulfate, it can be found in a powder that it is in a bullet. You see, a powder that it is in an atomic bomb, a persulfate. We find those things in some of the relaxers or bleaches to brighten the hair or color the hair. So those things automatically, they will form some sort of a damage, especially now when you are casual and not knowing exactly what you are doing, but just trying to achieve a hairstyle. So that would be come as a mechanical damage. And then again, for instance, now we're talking about mechanical, right? Mechanical, it will be mechanics like our air dryers, our irons. So for instance, it's often important, which most of the people are negligent to, especially consumers at home in this one in particular, whereby they saw you, Jawad, that you had her hair straightened and you had Lajawi protective leave-in conditioners for thermal care and stuff. They don't have that at home. Much as they were advised to buy a product, they still didn't see the need. But when they get home, because of this is not their natural look, their hair gets to revert back to its natural status because of maybe the mist in a bathroom or maybe sweats and oils. So they will take a dryer or they will take an iron trying to achieve the look that you gave them. But by then, that's when they cause a damage. Because look at it this way, since hair is material, now let's say you take the very same shirt, you iron it every day with the iron, right? You don't wash it in the soap, you don't put it in a softener. This fabric stays soft thing. You just only take that shirt and iron it every day. So that shirt, what will it do? It will lose its texture, it will lose its color, and then before you know it, it will be easy for that shirt to get torn apart. So the very same thing happens with hair. That's why before you could actually maybe iron the hair or tong it, the hair needs to be washed first. Because our products, like our products that we have established here, the Lajawi range, we made sure that we have everything or all elements that the hair needs to gain back its vitality. So you need to wash the hair again so that we can open the outer layer of the hair, and then we put a conditioner there where now we can supplement the cortex that's inside of the hair for the hair to gain that strength again, and then we comb that conditioner or mask to close the cuticles. Then we rinse off that other build-up of a product, and then we're going to spray something that will sit now on top of the hair, preparing for irons and tongs and stuff like that. And once you have had it done once a week, the hair will actually maintain that posture or that look, unless you've compromised it by swimming and stuff like that, and then you will need to redo it the same way you had it done first. So now, to avoid all these form of damages or breakages, because we have a natural breakage where hair grows into stages, right? Hair must grow, because hair grows for 1,000 days without anything stopping. And each and every piece of the hair, it goes to its own stage. So at times, some group of hairs can be going to 1,000 days of growth, but the other group is on a resting phase, and then another group is on a breakage phase. Just like the leaves in due season, some they drop so that new leaves can come. That's why at times you just find these tiny pieces of hair or some strands, but that don't bother you, because for instance, you still have your density, your hair is still thick, but you saw a lot of pieces on the comb. That's a natural one, it's not a problem. Then we have this very long one, whereby when you stretch the hair, it will have a white type of a ending, like at the very end, you will see a white substance. When you start to see that, then you should know that this thing has to do with the inside now. It's blood related. It could be stress. It could be hormonal imbalance. It could be menstruation, for instance, for ladies. It could be medication for others. Maybe some are taking type 2 type of medication. It can mess up with their hormones. And then that's when the hair will break from within. And that one is dangerous, because at times, once now the hair is being pulled from the very dermal papillae, we call it a dermal papillae. It is the one that is attached to the actual nerve that connects to the blood. Once it's been taken from that, collagen acts quick. Collagen is when you have a cut, for instance, on the skin, that thing that repairs the skin. So once a hair has been taken away like that, collagen will close your pores, because the skin thinks that you got head telling the brain, and then it will release collagen. And then when growth cycle comes, hair finds it hard to push out, and then it breaks inside. That's why sometimes when we shave, we'll have these moles, like, or bumpers. It's because of hair is growing inside, because the skin has closed. And once it does that, your hair will never ever come back again, unless we do something about it, like laser treatments, trying to work out on what we call citric acids, those type of things they can chow, or aminexol, Rogans. There's a whole lot of them. So we have natural, like hair loss, that one doesn't bother you. Then we have these losses now that we cause and create.
Because I think one of the advice that I'm sure will be empowering our students and our consumers with is that love grows your hair. And as much as you mentioned that hair comes from the blood, I find that your thoughts can affect, your bloodstream in a way that your stress levels that we mostly suffer and we don't know how to deal with affects our hair, and we suffer from hair losses. And on top of that, there's other things that we do to this hair, which are mechanical, chemical. We are pulling the hair, because it's not nice not to have a hairline or to have a hair loss. I once had this guy, Yaki, the Awakened, he's a herbalist. And he was mentioning that some of the reasons why people suffer hair losses, it's because of the amount of the acid of the food that we consume.
Yeah.
Then it makes us to lose hair.
Yes.
And I feel like sometimes people can underestimate how important hairdressers are, because I feel like even scientifically you can be able to help a client with a health condition based on looking at their hair. That actually your hair, you need to take collagen, you need to fast, you need to do cleansing, in each and everything that can help empower yourself, because
You like iron.
you like your body can regenerate new cells, by a way of fasting, and doing it right, and in a way that it helps to repair many other substances that you might need from your well-being. So I feel like to understand the structure of hair, you can be able to help clients not to pull their kids too much from a young age. How long must you keep braids for? Because it's really not nice not to have a hairline. I always say, it doesn't matter if it's braids, if it's a wig, if it's a relaxer, if it's color, whatever you do, you have to do it in moderation. And on the road of your hair journey with your hairdresser, maybe do treatments, and do things that they can be able to advise them, because I feel like to be a hairdresser is like you are a doctor. You can't come to my practice without me diagnosing you and giving you the right type of information, and the right type of products that can help you. I also had you mention the other day about those who are using lemon, to stimulate hair growth on the hairline. Can you just elaborate on that?
The hairline issue, before I can get to the lemon situation. The hairline issue is very serious. And why is it serious? Because it is the very end of the hair growth, regarding from where does hair starts to grow. Because in the center of the head, in most times, we have what we call a crown. It's like a cycle now where hair takes direction to grow. Normally you see it when people have shaved, then you will see some cycle in the center where hair starts to rotate clockwise.
Yeah, it's frequencies there.
But like frequencies. But to some, there will be, some can have 2 or 3. But now in that case, they are no longer called like crowns, because a crown is the initial one that is responsible for the direction of the hair. And then at times, by probably, I don't know, is it accident or what, where you'll have 2 crowns or 3, because some they might have it here at the very far hairline, and then some might have it at the very end of the neck or the nape, we call it. And then those ones, in most times, they never go, they don't bald or go bold, because they will have an like enormous high amount of hair, because they've got what we call cowlicks. So when you have more than a crown, one crown, we call it a cowlick. So, but at times that one gets dangerous also when you cut it, especially when you just go deep with a clipper. You'll have some unevenness, and then you'll have an ugly haircut, because hair goes different type of directions. So now let's get to the hairline, because hair starts in the center, right? And then it actually rotates throughout the entire scalp. But now when it gets just now behind the ear, the end of the nape or the neck, and then the front forehead, it's that's where it's more sensitive, because it's a very now end of the road. And now guess what happens? we also tend to now use what soaps, whatever, when we make up as well. When we comb, it affects the hairline as well. The let's say the dermal papillae, and then collagen closes those pores because it's more or less like getting a cut. It's like I've hit myself or I've been hit. So growth cycle comes, hair doesn't come out. So now, depending upon the time, now you decided to sit at home without checking out the hair loss situation. If it's within 5 years, then that's when you can, for instance, this is a home remedy, because us in the salon or as professionals, we will have obviously shampoos or any form of chemicals that can have ingredients that can help with that situation, right? Like aminexol, monoxidil. Some shampoos have those contents: aminexol, monoxidil, Rogaine, and then densification. There's a lot of them, a lot of science into it. But when you're home, at least you need something stronger like a lemon. That's when it comes in, because lemon has an ingredient or active ingredient known as citric acid. So at least you can squeeze the raw lemon in a cup or any form of a bowl. Then you just take a brush every day. It's because you need to do that every day, and then you just place it. But that's when you are in early stages of that hair loss. But if you've passed at least like your 5 years, lemon won't help you. Like you've seen, there's these people who have receded up to the center of the hair because they kept on. I heard there's a lady, okay, let me not mention names. She's a celebrity. She won't take off her wigs because once she takes off her wigs, she's like a Shaolin monk, because the hair goes at the very far of her hairline. That one now needs at least, I would say, hair transplants or laser treatments or very harsh, because the monoxidil or aminexol, it comes in percentages. So the deeper you are into this problem, the higher you're gonna need a percentage of that dosage. And if not mistaken, they can have side effects. But when you are in early stages, lemon would help you just fine. And there's also a lot of home remedies, which some I haven't tried, because with early stages, lemon for me has been the best. Has never failed me. But if you go still further with research, like onto how to also activate other home remedies, then there should be out there. Probably things like tea tree oil, things like morula also.
I also understand that I didn't know that the hairline is the last phase of the hair.
Yeah.
But now that's like blows my mind.
Yes.
I'm like, wow, because it really makes sense. The only thing I knew was that around the hairline, there's nerves that weakens your hair, especially when you're stressing and doing all these other things. Mm-hmm. Your hairline suffers, And I mean, apart from the Lajawi range, I also know there's a brand called Tricotin. I know the guy called Rashid. They sell it. It's a pill that you intake to help stimulate your hair growth. Mm-hmm. I know from Gail's product line, she also has something that you intake, as a product. And from Mizani, there's some of my clients have said it's got great results. Miracle Length, that helps to stimulate hair around the hairline.
Yeah.
Because it's really not nice to struggle with it. And I think it's our responsibility as hair doctors, to teach this hair student to be able to take better care, even from the salon space. We really need to educate our clients with precaution, when to go, when to stop. Protective styling, what is a protective styling? And sometimes how much tension is it there? Because sometimes you can say you are doing braids as a protective styling, but you find that the tension, it's still pulling a lot in a way that when that hair becomes loose, it does not have strength, and then it becomes easily broken, So it is important to to advise clients on what products. You have braids, okay. When you have braids, apply your Lajawi leave-in conditioner just to loosen the hair,
And the tonic.
and the tonic. And you have scalp challenges, apply it, because I got to understand. I think on our next episode we can speak about the scalp,
Yeah.
And you can understand the skin and how much sensitive, like when you do this with your nails on your scalp, what kind of damage are you doing? You're affecting the structure of the growth of hair. So it is important that we speak about these things. Some of them we do them in practical so that people can see the step by steps on how to, But all I'm saying, my last word is with it is anything that you pay attention to grows. It's your hair, it's your body, it's your skin, it's your house, it's your business. Anything you neglect will deteriorate. So the language is love. Love your hair. You'll see it will give you the best. You'll find that loving yourself can be something that goes a long way. So love your hair, love yourself. Treat your hair, apply the right products. When it's built up, wash it. Because you need to wash your hair. It doesn't matter if you have braids, whatever oils, your hair produces oils, you apply oils, when you wash it, maybe every once a week, you clean oils and then you create space. Anything with bulk does not grow. So we clean out, cut split ends, then we can have healthy hair, and stress less. Like you said, hair comes from blood. So, and blood is affected by your mindset. Anything that comes from your mind will affect you. So,
And diet.
And diet,
I believe that because there's a lot, the manuals of hairdressing, like I don't know, my room divider, my shelves filled with books that has to do with hairdressing. So hairdressing on its own is medicine, or it's like practicing medicine like doctors. We are actually general practitioners for the hair because it keeps going deeper and deeper. So now our main focus in our college is to make sure that we produce thorough hairdressers that will be powerful in terms of assessments and their consultations when it comes to applying their skills onto clients.